Welcome to Lemon Stream, where we feature stories of the unknown, mysteries, post-apocalyptic fiction, and other weird stuff. So settle in, get comfortable, get ready. Here we go. The New World, Chapter 2, Into the Darkness. It was dark by the time everyone finished their work. 3 trips with the truck and utility trailer got all the food and supplies from Gramps and Ma's house to Michael's and Denise's house. The windows were covered inside and out with plastic, and Sandy even put a ladder up against the house and climbed up to the chimney and sealed it off. Sandy and Sylvia were there with their son Nathan. Joe and Darren were there with their 3 boys. 17-year-old Stevie, Ma and Gramps' youngest, was there, and Michael and Denise were there with their 3-year-old daughter, Afton. "Gramps," said Denise, "this is Shayla. She's a friend of my sister. She's been staying with us for a few days. Just needed a place to be for a little bit." "Good to meet you, Shayla," said Gramps. "Wish it had been at a better time, but at least you're here." "Yeah," said Shayla. "Thanks, and same to you. I just can't wait till all this is over. I haven't been able to get on Facebook or TikTok for hours, and it's annoying me. They better get all that fixed up tonight so I can get back on tomorrow." "Well," said Gramps, "those things might not be the top priority after what happened. It might be a few days." "They need to get on to it," she said. "I know you old people don't have much to do with new stuff, but us young people use it a lot. We need it. It's how we do everything. It's our whole world, so they need to fix it right off. I think the government should send people to make sure they fix it right off." "Maybe they will," said Gramps. "We'll probably know more in the morning. Darren's going to try to get some news on the radio." Gramps had set up a portable solar panel outside and run wires from it into the basement, then to a battery and inverter. Darren sat on the corner of a mattress with his radio, scanning frequencies and listening for human voices through the whine and crackle. He had run a wire upstairs to use as an antenna, but still was having no success picking up transmissions. "Sorry everything's such a jumble down here," Michael said. "We kind of just stuck things where we could." "No problem at all," said Gramps. "We're going to have plenty of time to organize things here. The main thing at this point is that we got here." Gramps fumbled through some bins and boxes, holding a flashlight in one hand. Because he was very heavy-set, the activity was wearing him out quickly. He was starting to get a little flustered when he exclaimed, "Ah, yes!" He pulled a small box out of a bin and opened it. "Here's what we're dealing with," he said. "When that nuke went off, it sent up a bunch of radioactive dust and dirt. We are downwind from them, so it's going to fall right over us. If we're exposed to it, we'll die. We will be protected by distance and density. Further away we are from the radioactive particles, the safer we are, and the more dense materials we have between us and the radiation, the safer we are. We sealed the windows to keep distance between us and the radiation, and we came down here to the basement to get density, the dirt and the stone all around us, between us and the radiation. At this stage, distance and density are life. The good news is the radiation will decay fairly quickly. We just have to wait it out down here, probably a week or 2. After the first week, it should be safe to go out for short amounts of time. Darren, open the front pouch on the red backpack next to you. There's a bottle in there labeled potassium iodide. Each of us adults need to take 1 pill, and each of the kids needs half a pill. Our thyroid will absorb radioactive iodine from the fallout. These pills will fill our thyroids with safe iodine so that there won't be room for the bad iodine. That can save us from radiation poisoning, cancer, and other bad things. This thing," he pulled out a little black device about the size of a cell phone. "This is a dosimeter. It's not the best thing for the job, but it was cheap, and it'll get the job done. It measures radiation and sounds an alarm when there's an unsafe amount." The dosimeter beeped once as Gramps powered it up. He walked to the steps and started climbing them, one at a time. He held the device in front of him as he went. He reached the top of the steps and began to walk around the house cautiously. Finally, he waddled back down the steps. I don't know, he shook his head. Maybe it's not working right, or maybe I'm not using it right. I should have learned how to use it before now. It doesn't seem to detect any radiation. I'll check again in an hour, I guess. I'm hungry, said Sid. Yeah, we should eat, Gramps said. Let's save the canned and packaged foods for later, since they're going to keep. Tonight we'll eat some of the food we prepared for the cookout before it goes bad. Potato salad, hot dogs, and garden salad. I know most of us adults don't feel much like eating, but we should try to eat something at least. What if I need to poop? Timmy asked. Good question, Timmy. Michael, get that green 5-gallon bucket next to you and put the toilet seat on it. That little light brown bin there has lime in it. We'll add some of it once or twice a day to keep the smell down. Denise began handing out paper plates and plastic forks, while Joe set up the food on a couple bins in the middle of the room. The adults can sleep on the mattresses, Gramps said, wherever you can find room. The kids are smaller, so they should be fine on the carpet. I'll sleep in the chair since I can't run my CPAP. I need to sleep upright. As folks began to shut off their flashlights, it became apparent just how dark it was. One of the kids began to whine. Gramps plugged in an LED light into the power inverter. The solar panel won't put out a lot of juice, he said, so we'll reserve the panel and battery to run this night light and to keep the radios charged. We'll keep our cell phones off and power them up once a day to see if we can connect anything. Gramps was cut off by a low, roaring rumble. A faint glow lit up the room at the top of the steps. What the heck? Sandy exclaimed. Gramps turned on his flashlight and picked up the dosimeter. It beeped as he turned it on. One step at a time, he climbed the stairs. About halfway up, he stopped. Okay, this isn't good. What? Asked Ma. The numbers are going way up as I climb the stairs. Be careful, hon, Ma said. Why don't you come back down here? It's still in the safe range, Gramps said. He took another 2 steps. It's even higher. Gramps craned his neck to look into the room above, then took another step. Suddenly, the dosimeter began shrieking. Gramps hurriedly, as fast as his large frame could move, descended the steps again. I guess we're not going upstairs for a while, he said. But I did see out the window, and there's a bright glow to the south. I wonder where, said Denise. There was a quiet pause. Maybe Boston, Darren said. Sounds about right, Sandy said. Maybe, Gramps said, we should just get some sleep, and we can figure things out when we're fresh in the morning. Although he knew probably nobody was sleeping tonight. The sleepless minutes drew into hours. Every half hour or so there was a new rumble, sometimes faint, sometimes barely detectable, other times stronger and more violent. One shook the house so violently it sounded like some window panes shattered. And the night sky lit up almost like day for over half an hour. With each rumble, the men and women huddled in the basement felt smaller and feebler, and with each shake they felt a little more hope slip away. The world they knew yesterday was gone and would never be again.